Welcome to the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore. That's my guy, Charles Jackson. And
Yo,
first thing we're going to start off with Derrick Rose has retired from the NBA. Obviously, we're from Chicago. We seen him play. In my opinion, since I didn't see Michael Jordan play, he's the best bull I've ever seen play. So, but played in Chicago for a decent amount of time, got traded to New York, went played for the Pistons, played for the Timberwolves, then finished his career with Memphis. He had a good career. But Charles, talk about Derrick Rose.
like you said, I didn't watch Michael Jordan either, but growing up, Derrick Rose is who I watched, and Derrick Rose is the reason why I fell in love with basketball. I remember I used to go out on the playground and try to do all the little acrobatic layups that he did, and shit like that, and I tried to model my game after Derrick Rose. Um, but he gave that city a lot of great years. Me personally, and I believe a lot of people from Chicago believe if Derrick Rose never would have got injured, he could have won a chip. I mean, because the trajectory he was on, he was the youngest MVP. He could literally not be stopped in the league. Every time you hear a player talk about Derrick Rose, they said people were ducking Derrick Rose. Nobody wanted to guard him. Nobody wanted to play against him because you couldn't stop him. And his shot was getting better. He started to develop more of a shot. He was hitting game winners and all that. So I believe, and most people believe in Chicago, if he never would have got injured, we could have got a ring up out of it, up out of that team. But I'm grateful for everything that he brought to the city. He brought life back into the city. And he's a legend, bro. He's a legend. He'll forever be a legend in Chicago.
Um, it's kind of sad to an extent because I always say that we didn't really see what he can really do. Like his
Hmm.
rookie year was good. Then his second year, he played good, but then he won his MVP. And really after that, that's when he got hurt. A lot of people, they still don't forgive Tom Thibodeau for putting him up in that game against the 76ers in the first round because they was up by basically double digits and keeping your players out there. There really is no reason for that. And that basically changed everything. Like, even though he didn't win a ring, he did win an MVP, the youngest MVP ever, 22, I think.
Oh, yeah, 22,
To
23, one of them.
Yeah, so 22. To us who didn't watch Michael Jordan, that is like Chicago, like the die-hard Chicago fans, that is their Michael Jordan. Like
Facts.
that is the best player that we have seen since Michael Jordan played in Chicago. Like, and I feel like that is just straight facts. You really like if you want to say he's like the second, you can argue he's really might be the third best player, not the greatest, but the third best player to play for the Chicago Bulls. You can really argue it because it's Michael Jordan, then Scottie Pippen, and I wouldn't be shocked if somebody even put D Rose over Scottie, but I'm not gonna do that. But I can't argue that D Rose probably is the third best Chicago Bull player to ever play there. Like, he was amazing. He was fast. He was quick. He was probably, if you don't want to count AI, he was the most athletic point guard we've ever seen at that time. Then obviously we see the Russell Westbrooks, the John Walls,
I think
the
he was
John
more
Morants.
athletic than them. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not gonna argue that, but it's like he was the first in line. He was the first, and he came out the gate killing. We finally saw them go to the conference finals against the Heat. It was against the Big Three Heat. They did get one game, but then after that they lost 4-1. But that's neither here or there. He gave us hope, and he gets injured. Everything changed, and it's just kind of like sad that we didn't really see what he can really do. And yes, I've seen people say, well, he got hurt, but he did play like 10 plus more years. I get that. I understand that. But we could have seen way more of him. Like, That 25, that probably wasn't even his best. Like, we probably could at one point saw him maybe average 28 points per game if he would have stayed healthy, but we never saw it. And we will never know because he got hurt. We'll just never know.
I mean, I can't really blame Tom Thibodeau for that because, like, even if he did sub him out, that was gonna happen eventually. So if it didn't happen that game, it probably would have happened the next game or the game after that. So, like, I mean, yeah, he could have subbed him out, let him rest more. But it was gonna happen. It was inevitable, bro. It was gonna happen regardless. And like Tom Thibodeau said, his reason for keeping him in there was so Derrick Rose can learn how to close games. Because back then, the Bulls, they had a hard time closing games. If they weren't blowing a team out, they'll let them come back. And I mean, they'll probably still end up winning, but you letting the team come back and not, you know what I'm saying? He wanted him to execute at the end of the games and close the games out. So I can't really blame Tom Thibodeau for that.
But people still gonna put that against him though. Because it's like I definitely get what you're saying because he's young, really, like you said, had a hard time closing games out. But it's like, bro, you're up by like I think it was like 20 something. Why is your best player in the game? Like, why? Like, you don't need to do that. But I feel like to this day, Rose is still their favorite player, and there are a lot of them like you. They said that they got them to playing basketball, and I wouldn't say that, but I see where everybody's coming from. And still to this day, he's probably the best Bull our generation has ever seen. I ain't gonna lie.
Sure. For sure.
And we was talking about this like a month ago, bro. Any of these guys can win. Like, bro, Zach LaVine can lead the Bulls to a ring this year. He probably still won't be ahead of Rose. I ain't gonna lie.
No cap. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. He wouldn't.
He probably still wouldn't. But goes to the Knicks, and then remember he did have that breakout game on the Timberwolves. We dropped like 50 points, something like that.
Yep.
Even though he wasn't the same, but it showed a glimpse. Like, damn, Rose still got it.
This is what he could have been. This is what he could have been if he never would have got hurt.
Injuries suck, man. It sucks, and I can our kids gonna be like, man, how good was Prime D Rose? That man was a dog, bro. It wasn't long, but he was a dog, man. He did have that one great year. He had some other good years, but they just never they were just never the same as his MVP year.
Bro, nobody wanted to guard him. Literally nobody. They was scared of Derrick Rose, bro. Like, players used to literally fake injuries when they had to play Derrick Rose. But I got a question though. Is he a Hall of Famer?
I've always said that I don't think he's really a Hall of Famer. But like, if you watch Gilbert Arenas' podcast the other day, he basically said it like the media and like his stats don't scream Hall of Fame, but to his peers and the fans, they will say he is a Hall of Famer. I probably would not give it to him because even though after his injury he had some okay to decent years, but it's not enough to be like you're going in the Hall of Fame. He does have all-stars. He has an all-NBA. I think he has multiple all-NBAs. I gotta look that up. He does have all that, but that was kind of earlier, like in his career. But after that, he was just okay. So I don't think he will get in there. But I would say, like Gil said, to the fans and to his peers, yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, me personally, I would put him in the Hall of Fame because I feel like, yeah, all that stuff he did was when he was younger, but the impact he had on basketball and the impact that he had on a generation of kids, like, it was so big. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't win any more all NBAs after that, or his stats don't scream Hall of Fame, but his impact his impact is Hall of Fame worthy in my eyes. So I mean, I would put him in now.
He's a 3-time All-Star, All NBA in 2011, 09 All Rookie, 2000, the 09 Rookie of the Year, and the MVP in 2011. Like that's really that's all he has. And to those, it's like, you're not. And then, after his MVP season, he did average 21. Then I think that's when he got hurt again, missed all that year. But then after that, he averaged 15, 17, 16, 18. Then that 1 year with Minnesota, 18. Detroit averaged 18. So it's like they're decent, but they're not. Man, those some raw numbers. Like, it just don't scream that. But to his peers and to all the fans, yeah, I put him in there. But I think he won't get in, and he will be, if he doesn't get in, he will be the only MVP ever to never make the Hall of Fame ever. But maybe they might make exceptions because a guy
I think they'll let him in. I think they'll let him in. He's like like people like Brandon Roy, T Mac, and all those players who got or had those big injuries. But the difference is like they didn't win an MVP. They weren't the youngest MVP ever. So it's like I feel like that him being the youngest MVP ever, that would be a big thing for them. Because how can you not put the youngest MVP ever in the Hall of Fame?
Because
and it's like the trajectory he was on, he would have been great. It's just he got injured. That's literally the only thing.
It's just other numbers. That's really all it is. But he will definitely, I hope, he will be in the Bulls Hall of Fame. I will hope, and I will hope. I hope they retire his number because he is the best Bull of this generation. Basically, if we're being honest, when Michael Jordan left and went to the Wizards, he's been the best Bull. He's been the best Bull since then. So that was 20 plus years ago. He's literally been like, there have been some other good ones, some decent ones, but ain't nobody been like him. Like, because
I don't think they're gonna retire his number though.
Why? Why?
I don't think they are.
You think the Bulls that petty?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, them motherfuckers didn't even want to pay Michael Jordan. They didn't even want to pay Michael Jordan, the best player in the league.
He can't. Man, look, bro. I get that. I understand that. But you can't be petty.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, that'd be some petty. That'd be petty, bro. But no, though. Shout out to D Rose, Chicago legend, Chicago Bulls legend. You will be missed, and you helped a lot of people. Not gonna lie, you definitely helped a lot of people.